two. You already know I'm very open about my process, but this is take two. I am Jasa. If you have not been to my channel, if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed and you come back. Welcome, welcome. All my old heads, how y'all doing? What's good? We're gonna get straight into it, but of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, follow my pages, all that good stuff. But love, growth, and instability. Let that marinate for a minute, because yes, we are in the month of love. We are also in the month of our culture. And I thought it would be a great time to talk about what that love means, or what the different stages of love would be. So bear with me. This video, of course, is going to be called You Are Enough. And in the past, of course, I've talked about self-love and vulnerability and just maintaining that idea of love within relationships. But this it's not necessarily going to be like that. And of course, if you see my notebook, you know it's going to be a little intense, but I'm excited for this video. Okay, so once again, bear with me. I hate reading off of paper for when I'm doing talking points, but y'all, I have so many things that I want to touch on, so don't criticize. Go play with your mama, don't play with me. But, and it's funny too, side note, I dropped my pencil in the first take too, so I'm gonna just put that up there. But okay, anyway, so as I'm writing my notes, right, I'm eating this nasty ass Wendy's sandwich, and all I can think is, how am I gonna write these notes about being enough and I'm eating this nasty food? How? It starts there. What am I putting in my body? I don't love myself enough to say, no, girl, go cook something, you know? That's neither here nor there. But I was having a conversation with someone kind of close to me. You know how that goes. And we were talking about just different experiences that people have rarely heard from me or never heard. And what he thought was that I went through a lot. And for me, people have said it before when they do hear it, but it's never been something I wanted to hear. It was always a very awkward moment and super uncomfortable. It's like, oh gosh, am I like too exposed? Oh, he saw me. Or just, no, I didn't. For me, my personality has always been, don't talk about it. Or don't let people see you sweat, or don't let people see that you go through different things. And I thought that was okay. You know, it's okay to not want to come off as being weaker or being exposed and vulnerable. Like, I've talked about this before. This is not new to y'all. Y'all know this is what I touch on because it's something I experience, it's something I struggle with. But trying to practice being enough, not for other people, but for myself, starts with acknowledging the shit that I don't want to talk about. How am I going to sit here and say it, share these stories, put my feelings out there? Because it wasn't like I was just dry and giving him my story. No, it was emotions tied to it. How am I going to do that and not want to hear something that may be true? That was something that happened. It was something that I felt, and it wasn't easy. So hiding those emotions and putting up my defenses was my way of not being enough. Right? Bear with me. It's gonna come together. So let me give you an example, right? So say you, scratch that. Best example, right? You hide your gray hair because you don't think that it's accepted by society, right? You're not at that age yet where it's accepted. So you hide your gray hair. My hair is cut and I love it. But I ain't gonna put it out all the time because I just don't want to. But you do certain things in order to feel accepted and not understand that you are good. Do you? That's why we have so many people that look the same. That's why we have some people that talk the same. Because you're constantly altering small details about yourself in order to be enough. Right? Tying it back together. With me not being able to hear these certain things about my stories and just chopping it up to, oh, it's in the past, or oh, it's a good laugh now. That is me rejecting that part of my life or that part of my experience and how it made me feel. I'm trying not to put my hands in the camera because I haven't done my nails yet, y'all. So it's gonna be weird. But that is my form of not being enough, right? So defense mechanisms. I have a few. Mine tend to be I run away, I will laugh about it, I will sit in denial, and like I said, I will ignore it. I will completely say something so just crazy, like, wow, what, that happened? And be like, yeah, whatever, move on. Or just be like, yeah, that ain't happened to you type, you know what I mean? It's always super awkward for me. And those are my defenses though. And I feel like that always goes back to the way I was raised, or just watching people around me having to remember that somebody's going through it worse, or it's okay, you'll be all right, you didn't die, right? Or you don't need to talk about it because it happened. You just need to move on and just accept the fact that that's who you are now. Stuff like that. Just always a negative experience of never being able to say it out loud and really sit in how it made me feel, right? We're gonna check because we moving, y'all. We moving because it's getting there, right? So the importance of acknowledging the weight on your shoulders, right? Now, my experiences, yes, I may talk about them here and there and the different people I may interact with, but I never felt the weight until I've been burnt out, right? So I'm sitting here talking. Boom, he says his comment. And now it's like, oh, the weight is heavy. It is so heavy. And I'm sitting here in this process, this journey, trying to understand how I can be enough for myself. And I cannot stand the weight or the pressure of the things that I've bottled up, I put in the back of my mind, I've locked away in order to come off as if I feel like I'm enough. One more time. All that weight that was locked up that would make me feel like I'm enough, once it's exposed, I can't bear it because other people will be able to see I don't think I'm enough. And that is nuts, y'all. Putting up all these defenses in order to cage all of those emotions that will really make me live in my truth and feel confident enough to continue to go forward and have different experiences, which is why we constantly live in the same lesson. We constantly have that same emotion or that pressure because we're not dealing with them. We chop it up to, okay, cool, it happened. Let me go put it away. Let me file it away. Maybe it'll come back up, maybe it won't. And that's another reason I don't go to therapy. I do a lot of self-counseling, which I don't know if y'all remember, but when I was writing my blog post, I was doing my master's. It was going to be in mental health counseling, but we had to pause that one for a minute. And that was something I talked about, was self-counseling, just because I have that huge fear of telling yet another person, one, my experiences, but also having to tell myself the experiences, and having that hour session, that hour and a half session, and going home with that door unlocked. It's not like I can lock it again. It's not like I can be like, okay, cool, wander freely. It's open. And all the emotions come out with it. All the flashbacks, all the paranoia, all the anxiety, all the just pain. It's open. So, self-counsel. Talk to other people. Talk to y'all. Tell y'all the crazy mess that I try to deflect. But also healing. I feel like the same way you have to spend money to make money, you have to heal in order to be healed. You can't constantly want this change within yourself and not find a way to actually heal from it. Not hide, not conceal, but heal. What situation happened to make me feel this way? What did I project onto other people and onto myself from those experiences? And how can I resolve it, right? So if I have this experience, yes, it happened. Start with the facts. What happened? How did this make me feel? Now we're stepping into emotions, because your emotions are your mental stuff. That's the stuff that you do keep inside. Yeah, you may keep the facts inside, but when you tell it, the emotions start out more than the facts. That's what you're going to be projecting to other people. That's what you're holding on to. You're not necessarily holding on to the situation. You're holding on to how it made you feel, right? So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to sorry, y'all, my mama. We're going to step into how to, my bad, y'all. We're going to step into the resolution. The resolution has more to do with how everything affected you in the previous steps. I'm so sorry, y'all. I lost my train of thought, so I know I missed a step in there. But the point is, you take steps in order to identify how to abolish that trauma, right? I believe I put it in a video. I don't remember if I was just talking to my sister and it was like a, ooh, shit type of moment. But I feel like trauma is stuck in our mind, or is constantly replaying in our minds based off our personalities, right? So for me, I'm a perfectionist. And something I do is I will literally rethink a scenario or a situation that happened and come up with different things I should have said, want to say, how I should react it, you know, like I will go through the scenario over and over and over and figure out, where did I go wrong? How could I have made the situation different in order for me to accept it, right? So the trauma may not hurt me. It may not be a situation where I feel the pain or the weight of what happened, but I more so hate myself for not handling it the way I would have handled it in my real life. You know, my reality, when I give people these perceptions, oh wow, I didn't show them who I am. And that's something I deal with too, is I hate not being able to be myself. And I have this issue with family mostly, right? I'm super goofy. I love to laugh. I love to play. I watch cartoons. I don't care. I just love being me and being bubbly. And it's not just family that does it. I've had so many coworkers, I've had people's parents be like, why are you so bubbly? Like, why you always smiling? Why you always smiling with your unhappy self? So it's like, being able to be myself has always been huge. But people get it mixed up and think just because I play, just because I laugh, just because I'm happy, doesn't mean I'm not competent. I have experiences. I hold myself to a very high standard, and I feel like being enough starts with being able to accept that people aren't going to understand that I don't have to be on go every second of the day. I don't have to pick and choose when I want to be comfortable with someone or be myself around certain people. And accepting the comment my friend said is how I do that. I have been through a lot. Does it stop me? Nope, not at all. But it's my truth. It is who I am, is how I sit, is how I walk, is why I talk the way I talk. It's me. And accepting that is the hardest thing ever. I'm gonna close this out really quick, but I did a post the other day, and it was a bragging post, right? I talked a little bit about myself, then I invited others to do the same and to tag people in the post that they did so they can do the same. And the point of it was to acknowledge that you have accomplishments because of the obstacles you went through, because of the personality that you have, because of the goals you set, and they all come together to make you who you are. So if today I'm saying I want to save $1,000, I save $1,000, but tomorrow I say I want to save $10,000, and I just keep going. The accomplishments don't make me who I am. Oh shit, I can add it to my resume. Yep, I can save $10,000. No. Who you are is someone that's determined. You have focus. You are able to financially plan. Those are characteristics of who you are. But what did you experience during those months or weeks that you tried to save that money? Maybe it was you lost your job. Maybe you picked up a job. Maybe you had no social life. Maybe you lost a family member. Why are you doing it? For whom are you doing it for? So it's just, I always loved, I'm not going to say I loved being arrogant, because I didn't do it for other people, and I definitely don't want to put anybody down. It was never that. It was always very difficult to explain to people, if I'm not arrogant for myself, I'm not moving. I become stagnant because I am so focused on what's happening right now. I'm not constantly reminding myself of what I've already gone through. That is my way of doing it. I'm beautiful. I am intelligent. I have a wonky sense of humor. I love kids. I love to work. I love just certain things. I've done so much at the worst points of my life that I can't ignore that. And it's not to ever, once again, put it out there as like, haha, I did that better than you. No, it's saying, this shit is hard. Like, this is who I am. This is how far I've come. And for me to not be able to be myself and feel so worried about other people, that is definitely a turning point in anyone's life. So, y'all, this video is super long. I am so sorry, but let me close it out. Like I said, growth and instability. The growth that I had was verbal recognition and expression of traumas had and the effects on their relationships to the different people involved in that trauma, right? Really quick, what does that mean? So if we're verbally recognizing what just happened, that goes back to the steps I talk about, verbally recognizing it, right? We are expressing the traumas in order to tie the effects to the relationships, to the people involved, right? I had an experience, very traumatic for me. The people involved caused me to be paranoid. I would barricade my door. I wouldn't want to go anywhere by myself. I wouldn't want to talk to strangers. I would have nightmares. Those are all the different things that experience did to me. Now, how do I tie that to the person, right? Being able to grow and say, you had this part in my life. Thank you for teaching me how to overcome such a traumatic experience, but you no longer hold that weight in my life, right? That is my growth. Now, my instability. The lack of intent to reduce the act of invaluable behavior. Y'all, I was on to some shit when I was writing my notes. But that is my instability, right? We know what happened. We saw how it affected our lives. We know how that person changed it, and we know what happened. Even if you did it yourself, we know. Somebody else sees it, they know. You don't do nothing about it. Continue to live in your funk. Continue to live in your fake reality. That is the instability of love within yourself. Then you go on continuing to hate everybody else. You go on continuing to think that this narrative is that narrative. This is the narrative you live by. So now here we are. Instability. Traumatic experiences are meant to be overcome. They are meant to teach us and bring us closer to ourselves in order to elevate after this life. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. As always, I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments. Y'all never do. I don't know what's up with y'all. It is what it is. Keep your thoughts to yourself, but I'm gonna be here every week talking y'all head off. But make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and like and share this video, as well as go to my social media pages that are in the comment section to make sure you follow to stay up to date on the different videos for each week. But I will see you next week. I appreciate you. I love you, and have a marvelous day.